I have talked to a couple of other people who have astral projected, and they were able to go much further, and they described to me something that they saw, which I felt sounded like the firmament, but the way that they described it was a crystalline layer that was impenetrable, not able to be penetrated. I was told to take a 2-week break by Holy Spirit, so that's what I did. If you have ascended into the second heaven, your spirit and your soul, you may have found yourself feeling spiritually arrogant. I used to work with 8 spirits, 2 of which were familial spirits, not familiar spirits, but familial, family spirits. And the other spirits that I used to work with, I later found out that they were lying to me. That's what happened to me in the past. And then I realized that my authority was better served with my feet on the ground, intact, whole, and complete as a triune being, exercising my authority on this plane, the physical plane, still affecting the spiritual world. There is some content on YouTube that exists that is probably similar to this. I have experienced astral projection, and my personal experience was that I only astral projected a couple 100 feet from my body. I felt fearful. There was like a silver ribbon coming from my abdomen that was connecting me to my body. And I felt like if I ventured off too far away from my physical body, that this cord would break. And I remember thinking that and instantly going back into my body. But I find that a lot of times there are a whole bunch of words and not a lot of information. So I'm going to do my very best to keep this concise and to the point, and bring my thoughts right up front and try my best not to beat around the bush. In New Age or New Thought, when we talk about a triune being, oftentimes that's described as being body, mind, and soul. And sometimes spirit is interchangeable with soul and spirit, but generally it's described as body, mind, and soul. But in Christianity, a triune being is spirit, soul, and body. The soul being your mind, your intellect, your will, your emotions, and your spirit as being completely different, separate from the other two. So whether or not you define the 3 parts of yourself with either definition, my point is bringing that up because when someone is astral projecting, they are leaving behind their body. Their soul and their spirit is leaving their body behind. So please understand that if you are practicing astral projection, voluntarily or involuntarily, understand that your body is completely vulnerable. You are leaving your body vulnerable to physical harm and spiritual harm, and there isn't any type of protection spell that can protect your body from harm. Nothing will protect your body. You're leaving your body vulnerable. So the reason that I'm tying together astral projection and deity worship is basically to come right up front and warn you that if you are worshiping a deity that is suggesting to you that you venture out in the second heaven through astral projection, Please don't be mad at the messenger, but I'm here to tell you that they do not have your best interests in mind. They do not have your best interests in mind. I've made a video before about opening a stargate and also closing a stargate and warnings about the dangers of opening up a stargate. Let's bring the topic up again in relation to astral projection. If you are visiting the second heaven and meeting a spirit, do you think that that spirit is the same spirit that is visiting your altar? You honestly have no way of knowing. So Holy Spirit is bringing to my attention specifically someone named Jamie. So Jamie, I guess this message is for you. You're being spiritually catfished. When you're lighting your feminine candle and your masculine candle, the third candle that you're placing on the center of your altar, and you are pouring out your self and your worship to a spirit that is seeking your attention and you're seeking their attention, that spirit is not who they are telling you they are. The spirit that you think you're working with is entirely different, completely different, could not be more different. Everyone has to understand that the spirits that you're worshiping apart from Holy Spirit, these spirits are not omnipresent or omnipotent. If you're worshiping any type of deity, even if it's a head principality, this spirit cannot be worshipped at two different altars at the same time and receive individual acknowledgement from that spirit. It's not possible. So I'm going to end this video by encouraging you. I want to encourage you to call upon Holy Spirit, commune with Holy Spirit, reach out to Holy Spirit, introduce yourself to Holy Spirit, inquire of Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit will meet with you. He will raise you to new heights, greater levels of joy, deeper levels of happiness, and the authority that you will carry with Holy Spirit will trump every other spirit. In order to do this, you do have to renounce working with any spirit that you're working with, whether you're calling them an ancestor or a familiar. Holy Spirit is going to give you satisfaction beyond what was ever obtainable. Whatever level of joy or happiness that you think that you have achieved with the spirits that you are working with now, there aren't any words to tell you the incredible feeling of peace and love and joy that comes with working with Holy Spirit.